Everything has been leading to this moment. All the late-night talks, all the quiet stares, all the promises made under summer skies. Belly can no longer avoid what her heart has been screaming. The truth is here, and so is the choice that could change everything between her, Jeremiah, and Conrad. But in love, every choice has a cost, and tonight, that cost is heartbreak. The story of Belly's love triangle has always been complicated, but by the time we reach this episode, it feels like the weight of the entire summer is pressing down on her shoulders. We remember how Jeremiah, with his warmth and steady presence, has been her safe harbor through storms. He makes her laugh, he shows up when she needs someone, and he never hides how much he cares for her. His love is simple, but it is also fierce. It's the kind of love that promises comfort and loyalty, the kind of love that feels like sunshine. After rain. And then there is Conrad. Conrad is different. He is not always easy to love, but he is impossible to forget. Where Jeremiah is open and steady, Conrad is layered and quiet, a storm always brewing beneath his calm surface. Belly has known Conrad for as long as she can remember, and their connection feels written in the stars, like something bigger than themselves. His love is not loud, but it runs deep, pulling her toward him even when she tries to resist. Every glance, every hesitation, every unspoken word between them has built a tension that never truly disappears. Episode 8 reminded us just how tangled these emotions have become. Belly's moments with Jeremiah are sweet and comforting, filled with laughter and shared memories. Yet, every time she is with him, Conrad lingers in the back of her mind. Their history is not something she can just erase. The audience can feel that pull, like two halves of a story fighting to be the ending she chooses. But as the brothers circle closer to confrontation, the weight on Belly grows heavier. Their rivalry is no longer silent. They both know that this summer could decide everything, not just who Belly chooses, but also what kind of relationship the brothers will have after. Their bond, once strong, is now fragile, stretched thin by jealousy, resentment, and years of unspoken feelings. Belly is caught in the middle of something far bigger than herself. A love triangle that threatens to break the very family that has always felt like her second home. This episode sets the stage for a decision that feels inevitable. Belly can't run from it anymore. Her heart is torn between two different kinds of love, one that feels safe and certain, and another that feels passionate and destined. Every conversation, every look exchanged in these last moments before her choice carries the weight of finality. There is no turning back. The summer that once promised endless joy and possibility has now become the summer of reckoning. The summer where innocence is replaced with the painful truth that not all stories end in happiness. There comes a moment in every love story when time seems to stop, and every heartbeat feels louder than the world around it. For Belly, that moment arrives with terrifying clarity. She stands between Jeremiah and Conrad, not just physically, but emotionally, and the weight of her decision presses on her like the humid summer air that never lets go. It is not simply about which boy she loves more. It is about who she is, who she wants to become, and what kind of life she believes she deserves. For so long, Belly has tried to keep the peace. She has smiled through her confusion, hoping that somehow the answer would reveal itself without her having to speak it out loud. But now, silence is no longer an option. The tension between Jeremiah and Conrad has grown too sharp, too raw, to be ignored. Both brothers are looking at her, both waiting, both afraid of the same thing, that they are not the one she chooses. And in that fragile silence, Belly finally feels the truth inside her, a truth she has been avoiding all summer. She cannot love them both, not in the way they want. To keep pretending otherwise would destroy all three of them. Her eyes meet Jeremiah's. First, his expression is full of hope, almost pleading, the kind of look that makes her heart ache. He has always been the one who made things simple, who tried to shield her from pain, who showed up without being asked. Jeremiah's love is like a promise whispered in daylight, warm, steady, dependable. For a moment, Belly wonders if that is enough. Maybe that is all anyone could ever ask for. Someone who chooses you every single day. Someone who doesn't make love so complicated. With Jeremiah, she could have a future full of laughter, of safety, of never doubting whether she is truly wanted. But then, her gaze shifts to Conrad. And with him, the air changes. There is no hope written clearly across his face, only guardedness, fear, and a love that hides behind walls. Conrad has always been harder to read, harder to hold on to. And yet, in her chest, Belly knows that what they share has shaped her in ways she cannot escape. With Conrad, love is not simple. It is stormy and painful and overwhelming, but it is also unforgettable. Every memory of her summers is painted with his presence. Every version of herself seems to circle back to him. Choosing Conrad would not mean choosing comfort. It would mean choosing passion, choosing to risk heartbreak for the chance of something deeper. Belly feels torn into directions, and in her mind she replays every moment that brought her here. The laughter with Jeremiah, the stolen glances with Conrad, the quiet nights where she wondered what her future would look like. She knows that no matter what she says, someone will be shattered. The brothers' relationship, already fragile, will never be the same. And the guilt of being the one to cause that fracture sits heavy in her stomach. When the words finally come, they are softer than she expected, almost trembling on her lips. But once they are spoken, they cannot be taken back. The choice is made. In that single breath, the triangle breaks, and the entire course of their lives shifts. Jeremiah's face, once glowing with hope, changes in an instant, his eyes darkening with hurt. His chest rising with a sharp inhale as if trying to stop himself from falling apart. Conrad, though still guarded, lets the smallest flicker of relief escape, but even that is painted with guilt. Because Conrad knows that Jeremiah's pain will always haunt this love, Belly realizes in that moment that love is never clean. It does not come without sacrifice, without consequence. By choosing one, she has lost something else forever. The boy she lets go is not just walking away with heartbreak, he is walking away with a piece of her history, with memories she will never be able to share in the same way again. And the boy she chooses, he will never be able to hold her completely without feeling the ghost of what was lost. This is not the kind of fairy tale Belly once dreamed of as a child. This is the kind of love that makes you grow up, that forces you to face the truth. Love is not about perfection. It is about choice. And once the choice is made, there is no turning back. The summer she turned pretty has become the summer she turned honest with herself, with the boys she loves, and with the reality that every heart, even hers, must learn to break before it can truly love. The silence after Belly's decision is louder than any words. For a few seconds, nobody moves, as if the air itself is holding its breath. The choice has been spoken, and yet the weight of it hangs heavy, pressing down on each of them. This is the moment when the love triangle doesn't just bend, it shatters. Jeremiah is the first to break. The boy who once laughed easily, who carried himself like sunlight, suddenly seems dimmed. His smile is gone, and in its place is a look Belly has never seen before. Raw betrayal. He doesn't yell, he doesn't lash out, but his silence is worse. It's the kind of silence that cuts deeper than anger, the kind that tells Belly he is too hurt to even find the words. His shoulders tense, his jaw tightens, and though he doesn't say it out loud, his eyes scream the question, why wasn't I enough for Jeremiah? This is more than rejection. It is a wound that goes beyond romance, piercing into his very sense of self. He has always been the one to step aside, to let others have the spotlight, to put Belly first. But this time, he truly believed that she would choose him. And now that hope is gone, replaced with the sting of knowing his brother, the one he has loved and competed with his whole life, has taken the girl he wanted most. Conrad, on the other hand, doesn't celebrate. There is no victory in his face, only guilt. He loves Belly, yes, but not at the cost of his brother's heart. For Conrad, love has always come tangled with pain. and now it feels heavier than ever. He cannot even reach for Belly, not when Jeremiah stands broken beside them. In Conrad's mind, winning her love feels less like triumph and more like betrayal, as though his happiness has been bought with his brother's tears and Belly. She feels the sharpness of both their emotions. The relief of speaking her truth collides with the crushing weight of what it has caused. Her chest is heavy, her throat tight, as she realizes the price of her choice. She wanted clarity, but clarity has not brought peace, it has brought destruction. The boy she chose looks at her with love and sadness all at once, and the boy she didn't chooses silence over forgiveness. In this moment, Belly understands that no matter what her heart decided, someone was always going to walk away wounded. Jeremiah begins to pull away. Where he once sought Belly's attention, he now avoids her gaze. He throws himself into distractions, parties, jokes, moments where he can pretend he is fine. But beneath it all, there is bitterness, a quiet resentment that builds each time he sees Belly and Conrad in the same room. He cannot escape the thought that his brother has stolen not just Belly's love, but his trust as well. Conrad struggles too. Though he has Belly, he cannot hold her without thinking of Jeremiah. He cannot kiss her without feeling the guilt pressing against him. Every moment of happiness is shadowed by the knowledge that his brother is hurting because of him. It is a twisted kind of love, one that gives him what he always wanted but takes away the one relationship he always thought unbreakable. His bond with Jeremiah, and Belly, caught in the center, begins to realize that love is not just about the person you choose, it is about the people you lose along the way. She wonders if she made the right decision, if love that comes at such a high cost can ever truly bring happiness. The summer that once promised warmth has become a battlefield of broken hearts. This fallout is not loud and dramatic. It is quiet and lingering. It lives in the pauses of conversations, in the distance between brothers who used to share everything, in the heavy sighs Belly lets out when no one is watching. It is the kind of fallout that doesn't heal overnight, the kind that leaves scars on everyone it touches. And as the days pass, one truth becomes clear. Belly's choice didn't just decide who she would love, it decided how the Fisher brothers would see each other from now on. Love has turned them into rivals, and that rivalry has left cracks that may never fully mend. The summer that began with laughter and innocence now feels like the end of something sacred. And for Belly, Jeremiah, and Conrad, nothing will ever be the same again. Love stories often promise happy endings. We grow up believing that when the heart speaks, everything falls into place, like puzzle pieces finally connecting. But this summer proves something different. Love is not a clean story, and choices always carry consequences. Belly's decision doesn't close the book, it opens a new chapter, one filled with guilt, regret, and the hard truths of growing up. The first theme that rises from this moment is the loss of innocence. For Belly, summer has always been magical. A season where the world felt softer, where her childhood home became a place of laughter, friendship, and secret glances that hinted at love. But that innocence cannot last forever. By choosing between Jeremiah and Conrad, she steps across an invisible line, leaving behind the safe world of daydreams. This is the moment when summer stops being a symbol of freedom and starts becoming a reminder of how fragile happiness really is. Belly learns that to love is also to hurt, that no matter what, someone pays the price. The second theme is the cost of love. Jeremiah and Conrad are not just rivals for Belly's heart. They are brothers, tied together by blood, history, and memories that run deeper than any romance. Belly's choice slices into that bond. It shows us that love is never just about two people, it ripples outward, touching everyone around them. To love Conrad means to wound Jeremiah. To love Jeremiah means to leave Conrad in the dark. No matter what path she takes, someone she cares for is left standing alone. And this truth weighs on her, reminding us that real love is not without sacrifice. Another powerful theme is identity and growth. Belly is no longer the girl who floated through summers waiting for boys to notice her. She is now the girl who has to own her decisions, even when they break hearts. This choice forces her to face herself. She is no longer defined by who looks at her, who wants her, or who fights for her. Instead, she must define herself by the choices she makes and the consequences she accepts. The summer she turned pretty was never about beauty alone. It was about growing into the kind of person who could finally face the weight of love, loss, and responsibility. We also see the theme of family fractures. For years, the Fishers and the Conklins have felt like one unit, woven together by summers, shared meals, and Susanna's warmth. But Belly's choice tears at that fabric. The brothers' relationship, once unshakable, now feels cracked, maybe beyond repair. And Belly realizes that she is at the center of that fracture. This is not just about who she loves, it's about how her love reshapes the very family she thought was permanent. It's about how every choice we make, even when guided by the heart, can ripple outward and change the bonds we thought unbreakable. Then there is the theme of heartbreak as transformation. Every character in this triangle has been changed. Jeremiah learns what it means to lose not just love but trust. Conrad learns that even when he gets what he wants, it can come with guilt heavier than joy. And Belly learns that love is not the dream she once imagined. It is messy, painful, and brutally real. But in that pain, there is growth. Heartbreak shapes them into new versions of themselves, versions that can no longer hide behind innocence. Finally, there is the fading of summer itself. In so many ways, Summer is a character in this story. It represents youth, freedom, and the promise of endless possibilities. But now, as the fallout settles, Summer feels different. The sunsets are less golden, the nights less magical, the beach less comforting. What once felt infinite now feels fleeting. This summer will be remembered, not for joy, but for the moment innocence slipped away. Belly's choice has turned summer into something else entirely, a marker of change, a season they will never be able to return to as they once were. All of this reminds us that love stories are not just about happiness. They are about the lessons we carry when happiness fades. Belly, Jeremiah, and Conrad will never forget this summer because it carved scars into their lives. But scars are not just reminders of pain, they are reminders of survival. They prove that even when love hurts, even when choices break us, we keep moving forward. And maybe that is the truest theme of all. That growing up means learning to live with the weight of our choices, learning that love can both heal and wound, and realizing that the end of innocence is not the end of us, it is the beginning of something new.